my name's Lee and welcome to Committed to Carp Bedtime Stories. It's a Monday and it's very quiet across the Wyreside complex. This is Foxy's Lake. Thinking about giving it a go on this lake this time, just for see what I can have. There is a few 30-pound carp swimming around in all of the lakes on the complex, and them are the kind of carp that we would love to catch, but in winter I'm happy to take whatever comes along. Having a walk along the banks of Foxy's Lake just to see if I can see any signs of showing carp. Been here about 20 minutes and haven't seen anything, which is pretty much to be expected really. Okay, so this being the contour map for Foxy's Lake, or Scabby Foxy's Lake as we're calling it for this video. Makes sense getting probably peg 6. Nice bit of deep water in front and shallow water as well. Trouble is, I wonder if this bar is going to stop them from coming over if they're on this side of the lake. Don't know. It's a bit deeper. That's a good thing. Nice pink areas, 9 to 10 foot in front of peg 6. And you've got the deeper water in front of us. 11. Is that 11 to 12 foot? I think what I'll do is probably just sit in the car a little bit and see. It's cool. It's fresh. You wouldn't think it was that cold, but I don't feel cold at all. But yeah, like I was saying, I think what I'll do is sit in the car a little bit and see if I can see any carp show. Sit in the centre of the lake rather than setting up at one end of the lake and then have you move. Let's just give it half an hour or so. It's not like anybody's going to be taking any of the pegs anytime soon. Speaking to Sally in reception, and I don't think anybody's actually booked on, so very quiet around the complex. Very quiet. Let's jump back in the car and see if we can see any showing carp or anything that might give us an idea where to put this blimey baby. Okay, so I'm soaked, but it doesn't matter. Can you just see that big slick? Slicking up just there. There you go. Just that spot there slicking up. That's the one spot I've seen slick since I've been here, or the only thing that suggests I should fish this end. And this is peg 6, by the way. Completely neglecting the rest of the lake over there. But if I set the bivvy up right, I will be able to see all of the lake. But yes, that's a good thing there. That's a good sign. Bit of slicking. Obviously somebody else's bait, but if the carp are on it, that makes life easier. Get the rods out and see what's happening on that spot as quick as possible. Little solid bag flicked onto it. Let's see if I can get a bite while I'm setting the rest of the bivvy up and all of the other stuff. Okay, so there's a lovely spot just slicking up, and I settled into peg 6. Yes, I've got the rods out. I haven't got the right hand side rod out. But that is where my left rod is, and my middle rod is just on the edge of the right hand side of that slip. Couldn't find any carp, but I did see that slick up earlier, and that certainly helped me to decide where I was going to fish. Because obviously something is stirring that up. Well, that was a mad 20 minutes getting the shelter set up. Yes, I did say shelter. Now, if you watched the video from last week, you're probably wondering what happened to the Sonic one-man bivvy that I bought. Well, I'll get back to that later on in the video. The first thing I want to say is, as many of you know now, sadly Truffle, my French bulldog, passed away last week. And I do want to give a massive shout out for all your love and support, your kind words and comments. Man, heartfelt right there, guys. Thank you very much. Really does mean a lot. Going forward with the channel, what can you expect from Committed to Carp? Well, I am on my Wyreside winter ticket campaign, and from now on, I do promise that there's going to be no more bad news, no more sad stories. From now on, it's going to be shits and giggles and happy days. That's the rods out and Scabby Fox in pride and place. Just like I said, Scabby Fox is going to be on the rods all throughout the winter. Now that spot that was slicking up, it stopped. Maybe I can nick a bite, because something is definitely stirring that spot up. So it's just going dark and same as always in winter, no shows. At least I've put myself in the best position though, because I can see pretty much all the lake from where I am, and just sitting on the edge of my door in the bivvy, making sure I can keep a visual. The thing about winter is sometimes the carp show after 12 o'clock, so I'm going to make sure that I'm again watching the water tonight at about 12 o'clock onwards. Can be difficult when you're the only person fishing on the lake, because the carp may be held up over that end and I'm fishing this end, so pay lots of attention to what's going on out there. But for now, we get the kettle on. The guy that's parked there, by the way, is fishing on the other lake, the members lake, Bantons. Wonder if he's catching any. Yes, a very cold winter night. Now back to that Sonic Bank Tech one-man bivvy and why I'm not using it. Well, last week when I was packing up, it was absolutely smashing it down, and to be honest with you, it just took entirely too long to break them pramod bars apart. Those little interlocking bits, the little hexagonal things, they just wouldn't come apart for love nor money. And then when I did get it down, yeah, try and get it back in that bag, yeah, that was almost an impossible ask. The bag is just way too small on it, but I don't think I'll be using it through the winter due to the time it takes to actually set up. I probably will sell it at some point, which is a real shame because I've only had it for a week. Okay, first run of the session in the net, and it's an absolute pearly. Happy days, wait until you see this one. Taken on a solid PVA bag, middle rod, right where it was slicking up. Get in the net. Okay, so first run. Yay, that's great. Now, it's not a blank, but I was hoping the first run out of another lake I've never fished before was going to be a bit bigger. But there we go. I think it's about 3 or 4 pounds. But there we go. A winter carp. Like I said, from now on in, it's not going to be nothing but smiles. Yeah, that little fella there making me smile for sure. There we go. Cameras fell over as well. Now this carp may not be the biggest, but if you have a close look at it, it has got a lovely scale pattern under its dorsal fin, and it looks like it's wearing a scale necklace. So a very quiet night on the rods last night, no action at all, and I stayed up really late till about 1:45 this morning, but couldn't see anything showing, so eventually I caved in, got in the sleeping bag and went to sleep. What am I going to do today? Well, I'm going to get on my toes, have a little wander around the lake. Previous sessions I've used what I call the Lee method to locate the carp. That's legs, eyes and ears. While I was using me eyes and ears last night, so I think it's about time I use my legs. So I got myself a cup of tea. I'm going to have a walk around the lake. decided to get the Polaroids on and have a walk around this far margin. And it's a lot warmer on this bank. The sun nice and high in the sky there. Actually looks really nice around here. I think chuck one of my rods a bit further into this warm sunny spot. It does slope off into about 8 foot. Currently in peg 7, and yeah, what a lovely lake. Very well set out and really tidy. And I can feel the wind chill, but I can also feel the sun on my face. So maybe I started in the wrong peg, but yesterday was a completely different day than today. Anyway, let's do a lap of the lake and see if we can figure out whether to spend the next 24 hours in peg 6 or move up into this end of the lake or even onto this bank. After having a walk around the lake, I've decided to stay put in peg 6, but I have put a couple of spoms out over the right rod and the middle rod, just where them ducks are now. 2 spoms over each rod. Now, after having a bite last night and landing that little carp, was a little beautiful carp as well, I figured it's easier to turn 1 carp into 2 carp than it is 0 into 1. And that spot slicking up there was a dead giveaway for where I get the rods. So continuing to fish that spot like I did yesterday. I'm really glad I didn't move, because 20 minutes later, after putting them 2 spoms out and into the second carp, but this one's determined to get underneath them other rods. But there we go. Anyway, another bend in the rod. Let's get this one hopefully up out the water and in this net. Oh God. Dog mirror. It's in that net. There we go, winner, winner. Nice. Now check this out. Look at that. How red that fin is. Proper winter colours. Let's get it weighed up. Winner. Just because it's cold in winter doesn't mean that you can't catch some of these spectacular winter carp. The banks are quiet, the carp are still feeding. 17 pounder get it, my net. Absolutely spectacular colours. It's almost red. Winner. Take a quick look at the other side. There we go. Lovely winter carp from Foxy's Lake. Truffle would be impressed. It's 6:25 and I haven't had any more action on the rod since that last carp. I have put just one spom out over the middle rod though, just to keep the carp mooching around and hopefully maybe attract another carp into the area. But I'm getting really hungry. I have got to cook my own tea tonight because it's a Monday. They don't do food on a Monday, so I've got to cook my own, but it's something delicious. It's steak, potatoes, carrots, mushrooms with loads of onion gravy. So I'm going to get that on the stove, get it cooked, and hopefully after I've ate that, that'll be bite time. Hello again, it's 8:25 and I've just had a strange occurrence on the right hand side rod that made me shoot out of that door straight over to the rod. Bobbin's just going nit, 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 and then drop back down again, and then nit, 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 and then pulled up really tight to the alarm. Soon as it hit the alarm, I have picked the rod up, struck into it, but there's nothing on the end of it. So I've reeled that rod in, tied up a fresh, solid PVA bag. That bag is good to go back out onto the spot. I'm now fishing at 9 wraps on the right hand side rod and the middle rod. So maybe it's looking good for another bite. I put a couple of spoms out late last night and I've got the ducks diving on my spot. So I've got about half an hour of the session left and then I've got to start packing up. So let's see what happens in this next half an hour. It's coming up to 8:30 and I was just packing everything up and a run on the right hand side rod, and yes, there is a carp in that net. Spin you round and take a look. Looks like a nice one. Now how about that for a last knockings bite? Wicked. I did a little dance when it went in the net. As soon as that one went in the net, I did a little dance. Let's get it out and get it weighed. And the scores on the doors are... oh, it's 18.5 pound. 18.5 pound, that'll do. There we go. 18.5 pound. A freezing cold winter carp. Best one of the session. Carp number 3, just as I was packing up. Just always goes to show that leave your rods out till the very last minute. Wicked. And like I said, I did a little dance when it went in the net. Happy, happy days. Beautiful. Luke. Just doing the end of the video section and then the middle rod went off and there's a carp in that sling. Looks like another nice one. Let's have a look. There we go. Carp number 4 from Foxy's Lake. I thought the other one was a last minute bite, but this one, definitely a last minute bite. £21, lovely jubbly. Now, I hope you've enjoyed the session on Foxy's Lake. I certainly have. That little spot that was slicking up, mega help. This one's a bit restless. There we go. £21. Taken on a little PVA bag, this one, with a high-vis dumbbell lofty, a yellow dumbbell lofty. In fact, all of the bites have come on yellow of some sort. Cracking carp. What a session on Foxy's. Won't be long before I'm back out again. So there we go, landed 4 carp in total out of Foxy's Lake. Now when I got here I did spend a good couple of hours looking around for any signs of any showing carp, and that little spot that was slicking up out there was the only indication I spotted where to put my rods. Now watercraft is absolutely crucial in winter. It's paid dividends for me finding that little spot and taking me time getting set up. I hope you've enjoyed this video, episode 2 of my winter Wyreside campaign. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.